Hello and welcome back to Gapeys Garden. It is September 2nd and it's just the start of main crop fig season. We are starting to see a few of our potted fig trees starting to swell. So those are going to be the varieties that are going to be early main crop producers, which might be good for Pacific Northwest growing in ground. But all of these are going to be in pots in my garden. They did get a little bit of a head start in the greenhouse. They spent maybe the first 2 months in the spring in the greenhouse, which is unheated. So that gave them a little bit of a head start, but not too much. We've got probably 6 or so figs that are starting to get good size and swelling. That should start ripening in the next few weeks. So let's take a look and we'll see which figs are early producers for us here in the Pacific Northwest. This Ronde Bordeaux fig is in a 2 or 3 gallon pot, and we have our first fig starting to ripen here. It is starting to swell and change color. They start out green like this, and then once they swell, they start turning this really dark purple color. So that one should be ready to pick in the next couple weeks. Our improved Celeste fig here is in a slightly bigger container. I don't think it's quite 5 gallons, but we've got our first fig starting to swell. It's kind of turning to a light purple color here. It starts out green like all figs do, and then after it swells it gets like this. It's actually starting to soften a little bit, so it might be ready to harvest in the next week or so. This Brown Sugar Crunch is a couple years old, and it's in a, I think, 2 or 3 gallon. That's a 5 gallon right next to it. So that one is in a smaller container, and we are getting our first fig starting to swell, and it's got several other figs on there. I'm not sure if they'll all ripen, but we'll definitely, looks like we got a ripe one starting up right there. Let's see if we can go around here to get a little bit better look at it. So that one, was one of the first ones to start swelling, but it still has a little ways to go before it's ready to harvest. We have some pretty good sized figs on the yellow long neck. Unfortunately, this is one of the figs that lost all of its leaves, and it's just starting to get some more leaves. The figs still look surprisingly good. If I have a fig that loses all its leaves, normally the figs that are on it won't ripen and usually drop, but surprisingly these look still pretty good, so hopefully they will stay on and ripen. They might not be as sweet as they normally would if it had leaves on it, so I guess we'll have to wait and see how that goes. And here we have the Robert's Golden Rainbow, which some people say is the same as the yellow long neck. I'm not sure I'm convinced of that, but I'm growing both just to see. But I'm thinking the figs on the rainbow here are a little bit smaller than the yellow long neck at this point. This one is a little bit older, and it's another one that lost all of its leaves except for this one here. I think that's the only one that stayed on the plant, but it is starting to grow some new leaves. It's got 3 branches. The other 2 already lost all their leaves and are starting to, this one just barely starting to grow some new ones, and this one has a new leaf starting to pop out. But it is very similar to yellow long neck, but I don't know if it's actually the same variety or not. If you grow both, let me know what you think. This one here is my biggest surprise. This is probably a 1 gallon pot, and this is a fig that I rooted this year, but it has 3 figs on it, and normally I would remove those so that it can concentrate on root growth, but I decided to leave these on because I do have another one here that doesn't have any fruit on it. So I left these ones on, and we have one surprisingly starting to swell and ripen. So you can see how dark that is compared to these 2 green ones. So we might get to try the DTE for the first time off of this fig cutting this year. So that's pretty exciting. Normally a first year fig cutting will not ripen fruit the first year, and they'll just drop. So I'm pretty excited to give it a try. I think the last one I'm going to show today is the JH Adriatic. I don't think anything is quite swelling yet, but the figs are pretty large. So this one is probably going to start swelling pretty soon. It's still green. I think it eventually will change a different color, but I'm really surprised how large these are. I think Adriatics are usually a little bit later to ripen, so hopefully we'll be able to see some of those ripen before the end of the season. It's looking really good. And all of the rest of these have figs that are really not about to swell just yet. We have quite a few that lost their leaves. Most of those have started growing back, but I'm sure I will be posting another update, maybe some tasting videos once we have some of these main crops start ripening. We have our brown sugar crunch. This is a second tree that I have with one starting to swell a little bit. Oh, let me show this Nero 600M. This one probably has the most figs on it of all of my potted fig trees. There's probably 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, probably 16 figs on here. I'm guessing not all of these are going to ripen, but we'll see. We've got some jumping spiders in here and a wasp in here for some reason. But anyway, that one kept all of its leaves surprisingly. I thought they were going to drop, but they're still hanging in there. Anyway, that's it from the fig garden right now. As I mentioned, I'll be posting tasting videos hopefully soon once some more of these start ripening. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.